In this video, we are going to look at expressing one quantity as a fraction or percentage of another. And we specifically will be looking at non-calculator methods to ensure you're able to go into all papers feeling confident with these skills. If you'd like to join in with any of the questions I pop on the screen today, then grab yourselves a pen and something to write on. And if you need a little longer to read the task board, pause the video and hit play when you're ready to jump in. Beginning with fractions. A fraction is a way to represent an amount out of a total. For example, if I have 5 counters in total, you can see them on the screen, and someone takes 2 of my counters, they have taken 2/5 or 2/5 or 2 out of 5 of my counters. So we have a few different ways of pronouncing that fraction, but they all mean the same thing. Typically we would say 2/5 of my counters have been taken, which you can see illustrated here. Express 6 as a fraction of 36, giving your answer in its simplest form. This is quite a wordy question for a very simple process. When it says express 6 as a fraction of 36, it quite simply means 6 over 36. Just like that. The only extra part we have to do is this bit, simplify. Write your answer in its simplest form. And you can do this in as many steps as it takes. Some people might instantly see that the largest number we can divide both of these by is 6, and in which case go ahead and divide by 6. However, you might not be as confident with your times tables, and so if you need to do this in smaller jumps, for example, we could divide by 2 to begin with, because I can do 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 36 divided by 2 is 18, and then you might notice that they're both divisible by 3 and break it down that way. Either way, you'll still get the same answer if you simplify as much as possible. But if you were able to see that you can just divide by 6 in one big jump, then that's fine too. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video and hit play when you're ready to see the solution. With this one, we've got 5 as a fraction of 45. Both of these numbers are divisible by 5, so that would be 1 over 9. We'll sometimes have questions like this hidden in really wordy problems, and they might have a bit of context. In this case, we're talking about money given between a brother and a sister. Harry has £30. He gives £10 to his sister. What fraction of his money did he give to his sister? Well, he gave her £10 out of his total of 30, which if we simplify, we can divide them both by 10. He gave 1/3 of his money to his sister. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Sophie has £24. She gives £4 to her friend. What fraction of her money did she give to her friend? Pause the video now and hit play when you're ready to see the solution. Sophie gives £4 out of her £24 total to her friend. Both of these numbers are divisible by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So Sophie gave 1/6 of her money to her friend. And then we move on to percentages. To do percentages, we are going to begin by writing it as a fraction, which is why we looked at fractions first. Express 8 as a percentage of 20. Well, if this said express 8 as a fraction of 20, so just a slight change in the wording, we would write 8 over 20. However, it doesn't ask for a fraction, it asks for a percentage. And we know that a percentage is measured out of 100. So I ask myself, what is an equivalent fraction to 8 over 20, but that gets me a denominator of 100? Well, if I multiply 20 by 5, I get 100. And 8 times 5 is 40. And if a percentage is literally out of 100, we've got 40 out of 100, so that's 40%. Once again, here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video and hit play when you're ready. We'll begin by expressing 4 as a fraction of 25. Then we'll remind ourselves that percentages are measured out of 100. 25 goes into 100 4 times, and if we do the same to the top as we did to the bottom, 4 times 4 is 16. so it's 16%. And another one with a wordy question. Sam walks 50 kilometres in a week. On Monday he walked 7 kilometres. What percentage of his total distance did he walk on Monday? So he walked 7 kilometres on Monday out of his total of 50 kilometres. We know a percentage needs to be out of 100. 50 goes into 100 twice. And so if we multiply our 7 by 2, we get 14. So therefore it was 14% of his total that he walked on Monday. Here's your question. Katie has a bag of cat food that weighs 10 kilograms. She feeds her cat 0.4 kilograms per day. What percentage of the cat food does she use each day? Pause the video and hit play when you're ready. If we approach this question in exactly the same way and say that she feeds her cat 0.4 kilograms out of 10 kilograms each day, we know our percentage needs to be out of 100, which is 10 times 10, and 0.4 times 10 is 4. So she feeds her cat 4% of the bag of food each day. On to some multiple choice questions now. I will put a 10-second timer on the screen for each one. However, if timers don't work for you, feel free to just ignore that and pause the video and hit play when you're ready to see the answers. Your first question, express 12 as a fraction of 40, and here are your options. If you said B, that would be correct. However, you might have gone an extra step and simplified it, in which case D was correct. Here's your next question. Express 25 as a fraction of 120. Here are your options. If you said A, that would be correct, and if you simplified it, C would be correct. Your next one, express 3 as a percentage of 4, so we're on to percentages now. Here are your options. That one was D. You may have spotted that one straight away when you saw the fraction. And one more, express 17 as a percentage of 20. Here are your options. And that one was D. The last part of our video lesson today then. There are 8 questions on screen for you to have a go at, and I will be popping the answers on in just a moment. So if you pause the video, have a go at this mixture of questions and hit play when you're ready to see the answers. And here are those answers. The fractions are both unsimplified and in their simplified forms, so whichever answer you put, you should be able to find what you're looking for. Go through and check those. If you need to go back and watch any of the examples again, then please do. Sometimes it can help just to see them more than once. And if you've got any specific questions or need a bit more direct guidance with a particular question, then drop it in the comments below. We do try and answer every question or comment related to the content of the video. All that's left to be said is a big well done for taking part in this video lesson today. Every little bit of revision you do in whatever format will benefit you when you come to sit your GCSEs. Remember to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe so you can find us again, either for more video lessons or if you need to reach out and get help with something you're unsure of. If you also like short form content like quizzes and revision tips, we post regularly over on TikTok and Instagram as well. I'm Charlotte, thank you for watching.